So I remember one of the first live shows that I went to in Dunedin. It was at a gig venue called The Attic, one of my favorite venues. The attic of this old building in town. It was dusty and it was old, and it was in shambles. It was falling apart, but that's what made it an epic music venue. It felt like this kind of exclusive scene that I was a part of, and I got to be a part of. I played a couple of shows with my band Sheep. When I first arrived in Dunedin, it was like a punk band, and I was playing like synth bass. That was one of my bass lines in one of the songs that we played called Anatomy. Anyway, I remember we played this show in the attic once, and it was an epic show. People were getting wasted, and like they were, throwing themselves around. It was one of those kind of live shows where people were just really getting into it. And the show finished, and we packed up, and I remember, me and my friends, we kind of were consolidating our gear, getting our gear ready, kind of packing up. And the people who had attended the show, they were kind of milling about, gradually making their way down the long staircase to the bottom, back to the street level, out of the attic. And I remember, I made my way, me and my friends, we made our way out of the attic, and I was the first one in our party. I was equipped with my synth bass, which is called the Beast. It was on my back, and I remember looking at the door, I was on the stairs, and I was looking down at the door, and I was like seeing these people walk by. People were walking by, and it was like seemed really misty, and I gradually made my way down the stairs. And it was like very mysterious, like hordes of people were walking by this door, and I was like, whoa, what's going on there? This is really strange, like so many people. And then I stumble out of this door. Bear in mind, I'm a little bit intoxicated from playing this show, intoxicated from playing punk music, but also drinking alcohol all night. And I'm looking around, and it's so misty, and I could hardly see several paces in front of me. And it was like you could see like these hordes of just people coming, appearing through the mist over here and then disappearing through the mist over there. And it was just such a mysterious kind of mood and atmosphere and ambience. You just come from this punk show, and we stumble out onto the street, and it's like, what's happened to the world? There are just these hordes of people. It seemed almost like this zombie apocalypse or something. And so we kind of find ourselves flowing with this like kind of tide of people. We're flowing down George Street, or rather up George Street to the Octagon, and just gradually, as we're making our way through the mist, more and more people just appear, literally like this hordes of people, and they were drunk. Who were these people? Students. They were all students. This is Dunedin, by the way. Dunedin is really funky, a very funky city, It's a very, there's a lot of students here because it's actually a student town. There's a university here called, what's it called? University of Otago. And all of these students, they love to get drunk, and it was a Saturday night, they're getting on the piss, and then they made their way out, and they probably encountered the same thing that me and my friends did, that mysterious mist, and they had to make their way through it too, and everyone conglomerated, conjoined. I can't find what's that word I'm looking for? The word where everyone arrives in the same place. It's called the Octagon. It's the center of Dunedin. It's a very curious eight-sided. Well, we know what an octagon is. It's an eight-sided shape. But it's literally the center of Dunedin. It was so curious. And I remember just looking around, through this mist and seeing like so many people, bodies, just hordes of people. It was like I was in an apocalypse. And all of these students were lining up for this one place in particular, which was like, you could kind of hear this music going there. Oh, that's quite cool. What if we do it up here? Yeah, imagine that with a cool drum beat, kind of a bit muffled because, we're outside and there's this mist, so you could just hear this. I'm losing it. Anyway, yeah, that was an experience of my life. No, it was just one of those really strange times when, like, you're in a place, you're inside a room with a bunch of people, and in that room is this, it's got its own ambience, its own atmosphere, its own vibe, and it's like that is your reality for a certain amount of time, like 3 hours or something. You get this when you go to any live shows and anything that you get absorbed in. Movies are like this as well. When you go to a movie cinema, you're just there absorbed in the movie for a certain amount of time, and then you go outside and you have this realization moment that it's like, whoa, real life exists. And I had this moment, but it was like this very twisted version of that where I felt like I was in a zombie apocalypse. I'm not even joking. You could only see like several paces in any direction, and you had these people just manifesting through the mist and then disappearing behind you, and we stumble out, and it's just like, what's going on? And anyway, what's the story in this? The story is that Dunedin is a student town, and there's a lot of students, and they come in hordes sometimes, and they're drunk, and they like to go to the nightclubs. And the funniest thing is they all like to line up for one or two nightclubs when there's like 6 nightclubs, and this one nightclub has a massive line of students wanting to get into the one nightclub. But if you took that line of students, and if they all went into that nightclub, they could have a great time in there and make that place cool. But instead they decide to wait in line for an hour in the cold because, the girls are wearing like short skirts and the guys are, I don't know. I'm losing myself here, guys. Let's play that groove. That was quite cool, actually. Woo! Oh! Oh, that's quite funky. Anyway, good luck, and I'll see you.